Imagine one day you wake up and you look outside to a full-blown zombie apocalypse. The streets are crawling with the undead and you're running low on supplies. Which dog breed are you choosing to take with you on this journey? Today we're going to be looking at which dog breeds will be the most effective in a zombie apocalypse and why.
Watch it. What's it? Yeah.
114.
So what makes the perfect dog for a zombie apocalypse? If we're going to survive, we don't just need any dog. We need a dog that's loyal, a dog that will stick by our side even when we are in serious danger. We need a dog that's smart, one that will be able to make decisions for itself and think outside of the box. And we need a dog that's brave, a dog that will keep its cool when facing multiple zombies or even human raiders. We're looking at serious working dogs that not only have the genetic traits for this scenario, but are able to perform the day-to-day tasks that will be needed in a zombie apocalypse. So let's break it down. What do we actually need from our four-legged sidekick to lower the chances of us getting turned into zombie food? Stealth. Sometimes we might need our dog to keep its mouth shut. If there's a horde of zombies around the corner or we're trying to sneak up on enemy raiders, keeping quiet can be the difference between failure and success. So if you chose a husky, you're probably already dead. Load bearing. Supplies are heavy. If we have a dog that can carry medical equipment, ammunition, or pull a cart full of building supplies, this is going to make our lives a lot easier. Endurance. Zombies don't get tired, but we do. So having a dog that can sprint across an entire field to safety without collapsing is definitely going to be an advantage. And then controlled aggression. Tearing a zombie apart is definitely going to be useful, but what about getting the dog off? We need a dog that's able to direct its aggression to the right target, but also let go when asked. Also, if we happen to come across other survivors that we need to team up with, we don't want our dog randomly attacking them every time they make any sudden movements. Power. Sooner or later, we're going to find ourselves in a situation with no way out. And for this part, raw power could be our only option. A dog that can smash its way through multiple zombies as a last resort could be the difference between life and death. When you actually think about it, the ultimate apocalypse dog isn't just the biggest and the scariest. It's the one that can balance all of these jobs and make our lives as easy as possible if World War Z ever does break out. So first up, we have the Rottweiler. And for me, this dog breed just ticks all the boxes. And if I'm picking a Rottweiler we've already had on this channel, I'm going for Pablo, mainly because of his smaller size and his athletic build. But don't let this fool you. Pablo clocked in with a bite force of 175 kilograms or 385 pounds. This is a huge amount of power in the dog's bite, and he's going to cause serious damage to any zombies. With that type of power, I'm feeling pretty confident sending Pablo into a crowd of 5 or even 10 zombies. I mean, zombies are already dead, so their bones are rotten and weak. Maybe 175 kilograms is even a bit overkill, but at least it'd be entertaining. So this dog has endurance, he has the power, and he has that smaller frame than a typical Rottie. If we need to get over a high wall or a fence, Pablo is going to be able to jump over that no problem. I can also pick him up if I need to. This is useful if I want to send him through a high window into a building to engage a threat. Rottweilers are known for their loyalty, so I can count on this breed to stay close and watch my back at all times. The only issue here is going to be that typical Rottweiler attention span. If a butterfly floats past, or one of the zombies drops a piece of food on the ground, I'm going to have to work hard to keep the dog focused. But when they do focus, these dogs are going to be able to get me out of most situations. Rotties are trainable, so that controlled aggression we talked about is definitely possible if you put the work in. They were bred originally as cart-pulling drover dogs, so helping with supplies is going to be second nature for them. A well-bred, athletic working Rottweiler can have great endurance compared to the heavier lines or types. As for stealth, Rotties are confident dogs and are very sure of themselves, so the need to bark and put on a big show is not always as common as other breeds, so we may be able to cover the stealth aspect as well. Overall, a good working line Rottweiler is a great choice for this scenario, just as long as you can keep its belly full and keep it focused for more than 20 seconds. Next up, we have the bull herder, and I'm specifically choosing Tiny because we've had him on the channel before. Now, don't let the name fool you. Tiny is anything but small in terms of power. A bull herder is a mix between a herding breed and a bull breed, which means you're basically getting the best of both worlds. Bull breed bite force and grit with herding breed intelligence and work drive. Now that's a serious survival combo in a zombie apocalypse. And Tiny himself, he's one of the most impressive dogs we've ever tested on the channel. He came in with a massive 128 kilograms or 282 pounds of bite force at only 22.9 kilograms of body weight. That puts him right near the top of our power to weight leaderboard. In other words, Tiny is basically a living, breathing sports car. Compact, efficient, and absolutely explosive when you hit the gas. So how does the bull herder stack up for the apocalypse? Stealth. Pretty solid. Herding breeds tend to be more focused than barky, and bull breeds can be calm and confident. Tiny isn't likely to give our position away unless there's a real reason. Load bearing. At 22.9 kilograms, Tiny isn't hauling a huge sled full of supplies, but he could definitely carry a small pack with essentials. Think of him like a tactical scout. Light gear, fast movement, not really a heavy mule. Endurance, very good. The herding blood gives him the stamina to keep moving, cover ground, and stay active longer than a pure bull breed would. Tiny could keep going when bigger, bulkier dogs are gassed out. Also, Tiny is so small, you could just stuff him into your backpack and just carry him around like a secret weapon. Controlled aggression. This is a key strength. Bull breeds can sometimes be too full on, but mixed with a herded mindset, you often get better handler focus. Tiny's bond and drive mean he's ready to fight on command and come back just as quick when you call him off. Power. Well, the numbers speak for themselves. 128 kilograms at 22 kilograms body weight is insane efficiency. Zombies wouldn't know what hit them, and if all else fails, I could probably throw Tiny like a grenade and let him handle the business himself. Overall, the bull herder is a pocket-sized apocalypse powerhouse. Dogs like Tiny prove you don't need a big 60 kilogram tank to survive. Sometimes the smaller, quicker, smarter dogs are the ones that keep you alive. And Tiny, he's one I'd happily have sprinting into battle right beside me. Next up, we have the Presa Canario. Now, these dogs were originally bred in the Canary Islands as guardians and farm dogs. They've got that classic Molosser build, big, muscular, and intimidating. But they're also steady, confident, and calm under pressure. In a zombie apocalypse, that's exactly the type of dog you want. One that's powerful, but not reckless, and serious about their job. And a great example of this is Betty, a presser we've had on the channel. Betty isn't the biggest presser out there, but she's got plenty of strength where it counts. When we tested her bite force, she clocked in at 157 kilograms or 346 pounds. And you can bet I'll be showing that clip because it speaks for itself. That kind of crushing power is more than enough to turn a zombie bone into powder. With a bite like that, I'd happily send Betty into a group of zombies, knowing she could do serious damage. Now, looking at the Presa Canario in general, these dogs tick a lot of the apocalypse boxes. Stealth mode, surprisingly good. Pressers don't usually bark just for the sake of it. They're very calm and confident dogs, so you're not as likely to get your position blown when sneaking past a zombie horde. Load bearing, absolutely. These dogs are built like tanks, and with their history as working dogs, carrying supplies or pulling smaller loads is going to be easy for them. Endurance. Now, the Presa Canario endurance is better than most people give them credit for. They're not going to run 30 miles a day like a husky or a Malinois, but they've got enough stamina to patrol, protect, and keep going when things get tough. Controlled aggression. Pressers are fearless when they need to be, but they can also be called off and returned to their handler if they have had the proper training. Of course, this is going to be more difficult than a GSD or a Malinois, as some Presa Canarios can be pretty hot-headed and stubborn. But if you put the work in, it can definitely be done. Power. Well, as Betty showed us, these dogs are definitely not lacking in strength. They hit hard, and when they commit all the way. But their bite power is not the only advantage. These dogs have some serious physical muscle, almost like a raging bull. I can imagine the zombies getting thrown around like Skittles if Betty went charging into a group of them at full speed. The downside, they're not the most agile dogs in the world. If I need to get over a high wall or climb through a window, a Presa isn't exactly leaping up there on its own. I'll probably be attempting to lift them through myself, but honestly, that is a fair trade just for the sheer power and protection that they bring. Of course, some working line Presas can be more athletic, but they're always still pretty big, heavy dogs. Overall, the Presa Canario is an excellent apocalypse partner. Strong, loyal, controlled, and capable of handling serious threats without losing focus. If you want a dog that's going to watch your back and make zombies think twice before approaching, the Presa is a top choice. Next up, we have the Doberman. Now, Dobermans are one of the classic protection breeds. Sleek, athletic, and incredibly loyal when bonded to their person. They were originally bred in Germany as personal protection dogs, and that purpose still shines through today. These are dogs that live to guard, they live to work, and most importantly, live to stick right by your side. And a fantastic example of this is Nix, a Doberman we had on the channel. Nix has an amazing story. Her handler actually rescued her from a really rough health situation. And since then, the bond between them has been unbreakable. She's driven, protective, and clearly lives for her work. Now, when we tested Nix's bite force, she came in at 71 kilograms or 156 pounds. Now, that's not the biggest number compared to some of the other breeds that we've covered, but that's because Dobermans aren't really built for raw power. You know, they're built for speed, precision, and responsiveness. So let's talk about the Doberman in general and how they'd stack up in the apocalypse. Stealth. Well, excellent. Dobermans are sleek and quiet. They're alert, but not usually noisy unless they sense a real threat. They're perfect for sneaking past zombies without drawing too much attention. Load bearing. This is not their strongest category. Dobies are often lean and athletic, not really heavy haulers. You know, you're not going to strap a supply cart to them, but they can easily carry spare ammunition or even food. That's if you can stop them from eating it all behind your back. Endurance is going to be very good on this one. These dogs are sprinters and have enough stamina to keep going for long patrols. You could be running for miles and these dogs won't even be slightly out of breath. They're also rumoured to have a top speed of 35 miles per hour or 56 kilometers an hour. So quite literally a four-legged fur missile. Controlled aggression. Now this is where they shine. A well-trained Doberman can be switched on in an instant, but also called back just as quickly. They're very sharp and handler focused, and they take commands seriously. Power. Now, as Nick showed us, they're not about bone-crushing force, even though 70 kilograms is enough to bite through rotting zombie bone, but what they lack in bite force, they make up for with accuracy and speed. A Doberman's strike is more like a precision scalpel than a sledgehammer, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. The only downside is Dobermans can be sensitive dogs. They thrive with strong bonds and consistent handling, but if neglected or mishandled, they can become anxious. In a chaotic apocalypse world, that's something to keep in mind. Overall, the Doberman is an elite apocalypse dog. In the right hands, they're loyal, fast, stealthy, and razor sharp in their responses. They may not crush a zombie with sheer power like a Kangol, but they'll warn you of danger before it arrives and stay glued to your side until the very end. So there we have it, 4 very different apocalypse dogs, each bringing their own strengths to the table. We have the Rottweiler, basically a powerhouse tank with loyalty and bite force to crush through even a crowd of zombies. We had Bull Herder, tiny, small but insanely efficient, a pocket rocket who proves that size isn't everything. The Presa Canario, calm, confident and devastatingly powerful when switched on. And the Doberman, sleek, fast and bonded to its human like no other. These dogs are always ready to protect. The truth is, there isn't one perfect apocalypse dog. It all depends on what kind of survivor you are. Do you want raw power, speed and precision, or a dog that can keep you moving mile after mile? One thing for sure, in a zombie apocalypse, the dog by your side could be the difference between making it to tomorrow or becoming tomorrow's lunch. So now it's over to you guys. Out of these 4, Which dog are you taking into the apocalypse? Let me know down in the comments, and let's see which breed really is the ultimate zombie survival partner. Cheers for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.